Today we're playing what I believe is the best card from Outlaws of Thunder Junction, Lavaspur Boots, in a Storm deck. Let's go check it out. You heard me correctly. I do believe that Lavaspur Boots is the best card from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Well, what is it? So it's an equipment for 1 mana with Equip 1, and it says that your creature gains haste and ward 1. Okay, that seems reasonable. Also, +1/+0. Let's not forget that. It seems pretty reasonable, right? Well, what makes it so good is that you can find it off of Urza's Saga. So traditionally, the play pattern with this card is that you create a construct token with the second chapter, and then with chapter 3 on the stack, you create another construct token, and then you search your library for an artifact that costs either 0 or 1. So for 1, you can find the Lavaspur Boots, and then you can equip the new construct token off Urza's Saga. So instead of attacking for 5 or 6, you're now swinging for 13. And in your deck with Orcish Bowmasters and Tendrils of Agony, you won't really need to combo off that much. You're going to be able to deal a lot of damage with this Lavaspur Boots. Okay, that seems pretty cool. I get that. I like that. So one of the problems that these strategies have had is that they're kind of weak to Veil of Summer because you're a mono black deck and Veil of Summer is pretty brutal. So how this deck beats that is with Leyline of the Void and Helm of Obedience. Well, Lavaspur Boots allows you a way in the main deck to beat Veil of Summer. Okay, that seems a little bit odd, but let's hear it. So obviously you have construct tokens with haste. Okay, so that's one way you can do it. But you would need to put a lot of artifacts onto the table in order to make that a reality. Okay, that makes sense. The other thing you can do is Orcish Bowmasters creates an Orc Army token. All right, so you want to grow your Orc Army token. And how you grow it is with Echo of Eons. And we're playing 4 copies of Entomb and Lion's Eye Diamond to get that Echo of Eons to the graveyard and then flash it back. All right, so you'll use Orcish Bowmasters, you'll create an Orc Army, you'll flash back Echo of Eons, you deal your opponent 7. Well, you can't if they play Veil of Summer, but you can make a 7/7 Orc Army that way, or even an 8/8, and then a 9/8 with Lavaspur Boots. Okay, well, if you play another Orcish Bowmasters, and then another Echo of Eons, all of a sudden that Orc gets +14, you give it haste, and that's over 20 points of damage. So now your deck has a natural way to beat Veil of Summer without just being stone cold dead. That's really interesting to me, and it fits in nicely with your Urza Saga plan. Like, this card is not clunky, it's just really smooth, and I think that's a nice feature of the deck. So that's why I'm playing it again today. I say again because I actually recorded this deck about 3 weeks ago. It was a donation deck from Quentin Coldman, and in that video I went undefeated. Did not drop a single game. You can find that video in the card above. And today we're playing a deck list inspired by Eureka, Michael Reed of the Legacy community. He plays a lot of really awesome Storm decks, and today we're playing Michael's list. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I would greatly appreciate your support. But that's all I've got for today. If you have any ideas, put those in the comment section. But for now, we're going to hop on in and play some Legacy Magic the Gathering. I hope to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop, or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. All right, time for the first match. We are on the play, and we're playing a member from the Storm community, Builder Burn, who's been doing a lot of work on the Legacy Jewel deck. We've actually had a little bit of trash talk the last few days. Builder Burn is really high on the card Preordain, and I kind of think that card stinks. So we've been having some friendly ribbing about that, and hopefully in this match, I get the W and prove them wrong. So we're on the play, and we've opened up a hand that has a turn 1 Echo of Eons versus a Force of Will deck. We have the Gaea's Will in hand, which is unfortunate. There's no protection here, but you do have a first turn Echo of Eons. I think I'm going to mulligan. I mean, if this was a different card other than the Gaea's Will, I would consider keeping, but it's just not good enough. Okay. So this is essentially the same hand, except without the Gaea's Will. I think we have to accept that we're going to lose to a Force of Will, and we will keep this. Let's start with the Lion's Eye Diamond. Pro Mox. We'll imprint Beseech the Mirror. Play Entomb. Put the Echo of Eons to the graveyard. And now we're going to play Chrome Mox and discard Entomb. Alright, no Force of Will, please. Flashback Echo of Eons. Hey, it resolved. Okay, so we drew the Lavaspur Boots, but we don't have anything to do with it yet. So that's not really a great card at the moment. We'll play Thoughtseize. Double the One Ring. I think we're supposed to just take this Grim Monolith and slow them down. We'll pass the turn. They play Scalding Tarn and pass. Lotus Petal does not help me here. We'll play the Boots. Pass the turn. Keeping all these cards in my hand for storm count purposes, there's no need to play them all out. They pick up a Thundering Falls and they do get that Surveil 1. They kept a card on top. Badlands. Grim Monolith, good find. So next turn they're going to be able to play the One Ring. And we are continuing to not draw action. We will pass the turn. They play Copy Artifact on Grim Monolith. Okay, so currently we knew their entire hand, so they had a few pretty good draws in a row. Grim Monolith, and a Phyrexian Metamorph. It copies the Coveted Jewel. And we could just hit our F6 key here. Transmute Artifact, and now they go get the Paradox Engine. And we're going to pick it up from here. They have the One Ring, so they're going to be able to draw their entire deck. We did not draw any payoffs with our new 7, and unfortunately we lost because of it. We definitely want Shieldred. That's the card we're interested in here. Helm of Obedience does help us beat the One Ring, but it's not actually that great of a card for us because Leyline's not good against them. So I do think we want the Haywire Might because they can exile the One Ring, which helps us out quite a bit. I don't think that this is a Lavaspur Boots matchup, so we can side that out. And maybe one Cabal Therapy. No, I'll do one Chrome Mox. I feel like we want the extra permission spell. Okay. On the play. Sure. Keep. We'll play the Agadeem's Awakening as a land. We'll lose 3 life, and then Thoughtseize myself, dealing myself 5 points of damage on the first turn. Interesting hand. We'll take the Force of Will. Pass. City of Traders, Grim Monolith, Mox Opal. We'll play Urza Saga, and we'll Thoughtseize. Let's discard that One Ring. Force of Negation. Yeah, we're still going to take the One Ring. Play Haywire Might, and Mox Opal. Pass the turn. They play Scalding Tarn, City of Traders, triggers to sacrifice. Did you draw something good? I hope not. Vault of Whispers. Really good draw step for us. We'll play the Vault of Whispers, which turns on Mox Opal. I'm going to Dark Ritual here and play the Shieldred. This allows me to leave up the green mana for Haywire Might if I need to use it. And now we'll play Shieldred the Apocalypse, which is a creature spell, which means it cannot be countered by Force of Negation. And now we'll attack. Thundering Falls puts a City of Traders to the graveyard. They go to 16 life off of my Shieldred trigger, and then they concede. We're off to game number 3. Let's go. All right. Let's try it again. Same deck list. Game 3, our opponent's taking a mulligan. I'm going to keep this, but it's a little bit sketchy. Double Chrome Mox, and we want to keep these Dark Rituals to imprint to Beseech the Mirror, but right now I don't have any discard spells to protect Beseech the Mirror, so am I trying the Orcish Bowmasters game, or am I trying to win by being a combo deck? That's what I'm wondering. They have turn 1 Ancient Tomb. Thoughtseize was probably our best draw. This is now a protected turn 1 win. Chrome Mox on the stack. It resolves. We'll imprint Orcish Bowmasters and then play a Dark Ritual. Let's cast Thoughtseize. Oh, you dead. You dead. Dark Ritual. Lion's Eye Diamond. Better lucky than good. Chrome Mox. We will not imprint on that Chrome Mox. And then we're going to cast Beseech the Mirror with Bargain, and I'm going to hold priority, sacrificing the Chrome Mox. We'll add 3 black. We will select Gaea's Will, and then we'll play it. And now you just recast your graveyard and win the game. Easy peasy. Thoughtseize again. Take the Copy Artifact. Lion's Eye Diamond. Chrome Mox. And then finally we will Beseech the Mirror once more, sacrificing that Chrome Mox for Tendrils of Agony. Cast it targeting the opponent for 30 life. Boom. 1-0. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Name a more iconic duo than me and Drawing Guy as well. It just doesn't exist. But we're on the draw. Gaea has been on the Elemental Eruption deck, and it looks like they've switched off of it, but that's what they've been playing the last few days. Island into Lotus Petal. Some pretty cool island artwork from Dominaria United. Cabal Therapy. We'll play the Urza Saga. Draw Mox. Let's imprint the Cabal Therapy, and we'll cast a Thoughtseize. They're actually on the Jewel deck again. Okay. I think we're supposed to take the Grim Monolith here. Pass the turn. They play Urza Saga. I was hoping that we would get a really good Lavaspur Boots matchup, but it has not happened. I'm going to pass. I had some thoughts about playing Dark Ritual into like Entomb, but it's just not good. So we're going to pass. So I would Beseech the Mirror for Entomb. This deck does not have a Song of Creation in it, unfortunately, which would be a card I'd be interested in, but it just doesn't play one. They have 5 mana, so they could play the Paradox Engine, and they're choosing to pass, which might mean that they drew a Force of Will as their one unknown card. No, here comes the Paradox Engine in the second main phase. You got it. Okay, deck, let's see a good draw here, pretty please. How about Beseech the Mirror number 3? 2 dud draws in a row. We will grab Lion's Eye Diamond. Play Mox Opal. Dark Ritual. We'll float a black with this Mox Opal. And then let's bargain away the Mox Opal. Did you draw Force of Will? So you cannot cast Echo of Eons off of Beseech the Mirror. It costs 6. So that's not really an option for us here. I think we're just supposed to Entomb Echo of Eons to the graveyard, which is a really sad use of Beseech the Mirror, but it's the best thing we have at the moment. So we'll Entomb. We just don't have, like, the Gaia's Will being in my hand is so awkward. And now we'll put Echo to the graveyard. We will add 3 blue and flashback the Echo, floating 1 black mana. Storm is 5. It resolves, and we don't have enough black mana to win here. I will Thoughtseize our opponent. We'll take the Force of Will, play the Agadeem's Awakening, and then we'll Thoughtseize again. This time we'll take the Transmute Artifact, and we have to hope that they don't draw anything good. We have to hope that they draw a blank, and we draw a piece of mana, because if I draw mana, we have the Gaia's Will win. Urza Saga will create a construct. Manifold Key, reasonable. They play an island. Copy Artifact. So they could copy their construct token, and they do. And that's part of the reason I was not interested in making a construct on the turn with Dark Ritual, is they had 2 copy effects in their hand, so they would have won the construct war eventually. Oh my, jeez. All we needed was 1 single mana here to win, and instead we're dead. We're deterministically dead. So these are both 5/5s. We're at 11. But they have a Grim Monolith in hand, which turns these into 6/6s, and we have lost. So our deck failed us a little bit this game, and now we're headed to game number 2. Once again, we'll bring in the Haywire Might and the Shield Red. Let's side out 1 Chrome Mox and the Lavaspur Boots. Let's try that again. We're on the play. We have Thoughtseize. We've opened up the Gaia's Will. You don't really want the Tendrils either. We will mulligan to 6. Okay, so this hand is a double Echo of Eons on the first turn. I am down to keep that. So it allows us to play through a Force of Will, which is why it's so good. Lion's Eye Diamond. Lion's Eye Diamond. We will Entomb. We'll put another copy of Echo of Eons to the graveyard. We'll add 3 blue, 3 black, and now we'll flash back an Echo of Eons. Our opponent would have to have double free counterspell here. Echo of Eons. They have 1. Echo of Eons, they have 2. All right, then. So they're on 3 cards versus my 1. Technically 4 with their draw step. Cabal Therapy is not a very good draw. They have Ancient Tomb, so they also have the Construct Beatdown plan. Vault of Whispers will pass. They create a Construct and another Construct. They find a Mox Opal. Okay. So they are playing the Synthesizer, which reads, whenever an artifact with, well, when it enters, you scry 2. And then whenever you play an artifact with mana value 3 or greater, you create another Construct. We're at 16. We're dying very quickly here. And I believe this draw means that we're deterministically dead. We needed to draw like Dark Ritual into Beseech the Mirror, and that did not happen. Okay, well that's going to do it. Alright, well we got rolled in the second round, and unfortunately these Jewel decks are just not the matchups for Lavaspur Boots, but I'm sure we'll see it in action in match number 3. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Alright, match 3, we're on the play. Insanely good hand, we will keep. Our opponent has taken a mulligan to 5. I was going to just Echo of Eons on the first turn, but now I'm wondering if I should play a long game. So that's the game plan. Our opponent's on Ad Nauseam Tendrils? Am I seeing this correctly? I guess we'll take the Thoughtseize. Play out the Lines of Diamond. Pass the turn. Underground Sea. And they drew another Thoughtseize. Okay. So I guess we're on the Urza Saga plan. We know all 3 cards in our opponent's hand at the moment. Well, how does it feel? Thoughtseize goes both ways. How about that? Alright, I'll play Vault of Whispers, Dark Ritual. We'll play Entomb. Go grab the Echo of Eons. Take 3 blue. And we will Echo floating 1 of each color. Storm is 3. Chrome Mox. Imprint Beseech the Mirror. Actually, no. We'll imprint Orcish Bowmasters. Chrome Mox. Imprint Aghanim Awakening. And now we can Beseech the Mirror, sacrificing Chrome Mox. Storm is 6. We'll grab another Beseech the Mirror. Sacrifice Chrome Mox. Storm is 7. Grab Beseech the Mirror number 3. Sacrifice Vault of Whispers. Storm is 8. And now we can grab Dark Ritual. Storm is 9. Tap the Vault of Whispers. We will sacrifice Vault of Whispers. Storm is 10. And now we grab Tendrils of Agony. Beautiful. Alright, so we have won game number 1. In these matchups, you want to bring in Leyline of the Void and Helm of Obedience to be Veil of Summer. The One Ring buys you time, which makes it pretty interesting. So unfortunately, we're facing another combo deck, and you're not going to like hearing this, but Lavaspur Boots is going into the sideboard. So are all of our copies of Orcish Bowmasters. It's just not a Bowmasters matchup. Like, we faced 3 combo decks so far, and it's kind of unfortunate, but it's the, reality of the game. And I believe we're supposed to put a Cabal Therapy in there as well. So we will try this. We've opened up a really good hand again. We'll try it. There's no Leyline of the Void, but the hand is just solid. Misty Rainforest. And it looks like they're passing. Mox Opal. We'll play the Aghanim's Awakening. Let's attempt Thoughtseize. They are likely to have a Veil of Summer here, but let's just test the waters. No Veil of Summer. They do have a Flusterstorm. Okay. We only have a single copy of Tendrils of Agony, which means that I'm not allowed to imprint it here. So I actually have to pass the turn. And I didn't bring in Empty the Warren. So my only win condition would be Urza Saga Beats. They play Verdant Catacombs and pass. So we're able to try to win now. Dark Ritual. Lotus Petal. Mox Opal. Lines of Diamond. Chrome Mox is Storm 5. So if I cast Beseech from hand, that's Storm 6 plus 3 more Beseeches would be 9. Dark Ritual, Tendrils of Agony. I don't need to use the graveyard here. We'll sacrifice Chrome Mox. And the opponent concedes the match. Okay, well now we're 2-1. You're still watching. Make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. I regret to inform you, our opponent is an Epic Storm player, so that means that Lavaspur Boots is probably not great in this matchup. Here we have a hand that is really slow. We should send this back. This is a first turn Echo of Eons, so we'll probably keep this. Bottom, the guys will. We'll play Vault of Whispers, Lotus Petal, Dark Ritual, and then we'll Thoughtseize ourselves. Echo of Eons to the graveyard. We'll play the Chrome Mox with no imprint, and then we'll draw 7 new cards. We're also very good at drawing Tendrils of Agony. Okay, so this is really obnoxious. I think I have to imprint the Tendrils here. We'll have to win via Orcish Bowmasters. Cabal Therapy. We're going to name Lion's Eye Diamond. And we hit. Pass the turn. Underground Sea into Ponder. Well, it's looking like if I want to win this game, I'm going to have to use the Lavaspur Boots, which is nice. But it feels like we're kind of far away from it. They play Chrome Mox, probably imprinting 1 Veil of Summer here. And they do. Lotus Petal. Okay. So they have Veil of Summer Relay and 1 Unknown. We will pass the turn. Not a lot going on. They do the same. We will Entomb on their end step. Let's put the other Echo of Eons in there. Urza's Saga, I like that. We will bargain away the Chrome Mox that is empty. And our opponent's in a spot where they don't have a lot going on. I'm kind of tempted here to just Orcish Bowmasters. Target myself for 1. This way the Veil of Summer won't fizzle if they cast it. So if I could target my opponent, they would Veil of Summer, and then I wouldn't get the Orc Army token. This way, they can still cast the Veil of Summer, but I get to keep my token. They do play the Veil of Summer. Bowmasters will target itself, or well, the Orc Army token. Oh, did you draw Beseech the Mirror? Don't tell me you did. That's not right. Lion's Eye Diamond, Chrome Mox, no imprint, Galvanic Relay. They still have 1 card in hand. I don't know what it is. Lotus Petal, Lion's Eye Diamond, Brainstorm, Lotus Petal. Alright, we need a good draw here. Blue mana is really what we need. They upkeep Veil of Summer. Sure. We did draw blue mana. We'll play our Vault of Whispers, Lion's Eye Diamond. We'll add 3 blue. And we will flashback Echo of Eons. So the key here is to target the Orc Army so that way it never dies. We drew the boots. So we have 9 at the moment. That's not lethal. Let's play Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. Orcish Bowmasters. So now it's 10. We'll create a construct token. Hold up. I think we're just short of lethal. Lavaspur Boots. Equip to the construct. We have 18 and they're at 20? Oh no. We're just short. We needed a little bit of a better draw 7. Okay, get in there. We're at the mercy of our opponent's new hand. Well, I can safely say that I at least used Lavaspur Boots in this video. They imprint Brainstorm. They have all the mana in the world. Burning Wish kills me. Beseech the Mirror kills me. They start off with a Veil of Summer, so now they can ignore my Orcish Bowmasters. Chrome Mox imprints another Veil of Summer. Lotus Petal. Lotus Petal. Storm is 5. I'm at 17. Lion's Eye Diamond. You either have it or you don't. And they have Burning Wish and 2 Tendrils of Agony. So we did not get game number 1. We came really close with our beatdown plan, but my draw 7s did not get the job done. They select the sideboard Beseech the Mirror. They cast it for spell number 8. They can now play a number of Beseech the Mirrors and then Tendrils of Agony, or they can just grab the Tendrils of Agony. Both work. And there's the Tendrils. So we have lost game number 1. Oddly enough, against the Veil of Summer deck, I'm going to leave in Lavaspur Boots. I do believe we want Leyline of the Void. I think we want the Helm of Obedience. I think Cabal like in general, I think the discard spells are not as good as you might think. So I kind of want to shave the Cabal Therapies. And well, I guess Dress is just better than Thoughtseize here. Let's shave a couple copies of Thoughtseize as well. And then maybe like a land. We'll try this. On the play. No Lion's Eye Diamond, but we do have turn 1 Bowmasters. I think we keep this. There's a Saga. Chromox. We'll imprint Beseech the Mirror. Chromox. Imprint Echo. Pass. I also don't know if they're on my most recent 5-0. I haven't made a video about it, but I went undefeated with a list with Force of Will in the sideboard, which ended up being really, really good. And now I'm kind of worried that our opponent might have Force of Will. Orcish Bowmasters. We'll target them and see if we could draw out a Veil of Summer. No. We draw Duress. Let's play it. They do have a Veil of Summer. My Orc Army will get a little bit bigger. And now we'll attack for 3. Lion's Eye Diamond. Mox Opal. Interesting. We drew another Entomb. We're going to go search out a Lion's Eye Diamond here. Play Entomb. Find Echo of Eons. We'll make 3 blue. And flashback the Echo. Echoing Truth. So they're not on the Force of Will list. Because I cut Orcish Bowmasters. Or I cut Echoing Truth from that list. And we don't have another black mana to flash back in the Orcish Bowmasters. This guy as well. Oh, can't catch a break. We're also a black mana short from casting Beseech the Mirror. Let's play Thoughtseize, I guess. It's likely a better card for us here than the Leyline of the Void. We'll take the Beseech the Mirror. They also boarded in Beseiju. Attack for 2. I guess I should play on my Lotus Petal because they are an Echo deck. Lion's Eye Diamond. And Brainstorm. They did not shuffle. That means I'm probably just dead. And here's the Beseech the Mirror. They play Veil of Summer. Sure. Is this an Echo of Eons? No, you just... Okay. Brainstorm was very good. And Gaea's Will. I'm good to pick it up from here. Okay, so unfortunately, we lost again. We did get to use Lavaspur Boots, but 4 combo decks in a row is not what I had in mind for this league. So we're now 2-2 with 1 match to go. Hopefully we get to showcase Lavaspur Boots just a little bit more. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. The final match, we're on the play. We have the Boots, but this hand isn't really a Boots hand. I think it's actually a mulligan because the Mox Opal isn't active without burning the Lotus Petal, so it's kind of just really weird. This hand is fine. We'll keep in bottom a Beseech the Mirror. We'll play Agadeem's Awakening, Lion's Eye Diamond, Lotus Petal, cast Entomb. You might be wondering, why cast Entomb? If our opponent's a Force of Will deck, I then have 2 copies of Echo of Eons in the graveyard, and I'll be able to recover better. Because I'm only 1 mana away from being able to flash this spell back. It resolves. And we need to pass the turn. Is this a 5th combo deck in a row? Chalice of the Void on 0. Okay. Not a combo deck by the looks of it. Let's Thoughtseize them. Goblins. We'll take Rabblemaster. Play the Boots. Pass the turn. They just pass right back. We draw another Thoughtseize. Okay, I think I'm actually going to Echo of Eons here. We'll play Mox Opal into the Chalice of the Void for Storm. Cabal Therapy myself. We'll name Echo of Eons. And then we'll make some blue mana. And flashback this Echo. Storm is 5. Play the Urza Saga. Mox Opal for Storm, that's 6. So I can go Beseech the Mirror, Tendrils, that's 18, I'm 1 short. What to do? I guess I'll start by casting Beseech the Mirror. Storm is 7. This deck does feel like it's missing a vital piece. Like, only having Gaea's Will for Beseech the Mirror just feels a little anemic. Okay, I think I'm going to Tendrils of Agony them to 2. It shuts off Ancient Tomb, and maybe Bowmasters can surprise win. They have 2 life, we have 33. City of Traders. Caves of Chaos Adventure. Lion's Eye Diamond is not very helpful here. We'll play the Aghanim Awakening tapped. We'll pass. The initiative is going to happen. They attack and reveal a Goblin Rabblemaster. They play Mountain, City of Traitor Sacrifices, another Caves of Chaos Adventurer. So this allows them to go to the 3rd chapter, and I will lose 5 life. On the end step, we will Orcish Bowmasters. We'll put them to 1, and they can't block 2 creatures, so we have the win. Sweet. By the skin of our teeth. We likely want Feed the Swarm for Blood Moon, but also things like Leyline of the Void. Empty the Warren seems fine here. Haywire might. I don't think that the Dismember is really just for Boros Initiative. I don't care about killing random creatures, so you don't board in Dismember. And that's 65. Likely don't want Cabal Therapy in this matchup, so those can go. Can probably board out Duress as well. Maybe a Thoughtseize. We're not really interested in disrupting our opponent's hand. Oh, Surge Node. That's supposed to come in here. Whoops. Get rid of another Thoughtseize. The card's in the sideboard for Chalice of the Void matchups. So the idea is that you use Surge Node to change the number on Chalice of the Void to a number that doesn't matter. Like 3, and then you win the game. We will try it. Also, Gaia's Will. Not a big fan right now. Leyline of the Void. Pretty good against my Echo of Eons hand. They play Lotus Petal, Chrome Mox, and prints a Name Sticker Goblin. Chalice of the Void on 0. Good hand. We're in a tough spot. Pass the turn. I'll give this a draw step or 2 to see if we draw like an Urza Saga, but I'm probably going to concede somewhat soon. They attack. Unlicensed Hearse was the play. We'll play Vault of Whispers, pass. They attack with the Shaman. I'm going to flash in Orcish Bowmasters. We'll ping the Goblin Shaman. They'll create a treasure. We now go to blocks. And I'll trade my Orc Army with their Goblin Shaman. Another copy of Unlicensed Hearse. Tendrils of Agony. So we currently have 5 spells. That's just not good enough to win. Chalice of the Void on 1. Okay. And they do not attack. There we go. Is this the game that Lavaspur Boot shines? Let's go. Shatterskull smashing on my Orc. Yeah, that happens. So this is the first turn that Urza Saga is relevant. I can't do anything. I mean, I can hold these zeros to play into Tendrils of Agony later, but that's about it. Discard Gaia's Will. Battlecry Goblin. I think my opponent's been a little too defensive this game, afraid to attack when I think I actually have the better long game than them, and they should have been applying pressure. Another Urza Saga? Don't mind if I do. Activate. Let's go get the boots. Yeah, boots is still the play. I thought about Haywire Might for a second, but I don't think it's correct. We'll put the boots on the construct, and they were made for walking. I've been waiting all league to make that joke. Get in there. Now they're going to create a copy of the construct token so they can double block and kill 1 construct, but then they can't do this moving forward. Oh, they're going to trade their Unlicensed Hearse. I see. Sure, yeah, that's good with me. We will pass. They pump up their Goblin, and now they're attacking for 6. I'll go to 12. I'm sorry, 7 because of the Goblin token. Yeah, I mean, this is what they should have been doing the whole time. Feed the Swarm. I'm not sure what the play is here. I think I'm actually supposed to pass. Yeah, I'm going to pass. We'll discard Echo of Eons. On their end step, we will create another construct. Redraw, it's another Mox Opal. So I can play Opal, Opal, Diamond, Diamond, Tendrils for 10 life. I don't think that's actually good enough. So instead, I'm going to make another construct. And we'll grab Chrome Mox. It's actually better than Mox Opal here, because I don't have to discard a card and pump up their Unlicensed Hearse. And now we'll equip the boots to the construct. So hypothetically, let's say I swing out. They block with the Goblin token. They copy Battlecry Goblin on the end step, untap, pump their team. Am I dead? That would be 9 damage? I don't believe so. I don't think I'd be dead there. And then they'd, hold on, they would get a Goblin token. Hold on. So they copy on the end step, they untap, they swing for 6, they get the Goblin token, then they pump, then I am dead. So I think I'm only supposed to attack with 1, but then I can't get through the reflection of Kiki Chiki. I think I'm supposed to pass then, because they could have created lethal if they played it correctly. So they'd wait until, because they have 6 power between Reflection of Kiki-Jiki, the Battlecry Goblin, and then this Battlecry Goblin. And then they attack, they get the trigger, they create the Goblin, and then pump, and that's exactly 11. They're attacking, we might as well block. It's kind of free to do so. Another Fable of the Mirrorbreaker, sure. A land here likely wins the match for us. Instead, we draw a Thoughtseize. I'm going to kill the Battlecry Goblin. And now I think it's safe to start attacking. Get in there with the Construct token that's a little bit bigger. They crew their vehicle. And block. Sure. We'll move the boots over to a Construct token. Pass. They discard 2 artifacts, so that was a good exchange for them. Off of the Fable of the Mirrorbreaker. They play land. 3 mana in pool. Our opponent goes to their second main phase and plays a Goblin Rabblemaster. Okay. Sure. We cannot cast Beseech the Mirror, but all of their goblins are forced to attack next turn. A land over the last few turns would have won us the game, but we have not drawn one. We are forced to pass the turn here. They're going to copy their Goblin Rabblemaster, discard Thoughtseize, and now they can copy Goblin Rabblemaster, and they're definitely in the winning position. And they swing out. I am forced to block all 3 Goblin Rabblemasters or else I die here. So now even if I draw the land, I think I've lost. Orcish Bowmasters is not good enough. Alright, we almost pulled it off, but unfortunately we lost and now we're going to game number 3. We will resubmit. This is it. Let's see if we can get a positive record. We're on the play for game number 3. And once again, this Gaia's Will, always in my opening hand. I think we'll try it. And they did open up on Leyline of the Void. Unfortunate. I'll pay 3 life. Play out the Chrome Mox. Lotus Petal. If they didn't open on Leyline, this hand was insane. But maybe I'm a fool for keeping a hand that echoes. I feel like this deck doesn't do much other than cast Echo of Eons. So I'm not surprised. They play Chrome Mox, imprinting a name sticker Goblin. Goblin Rabblemaster. I'll take 1. No point in flashing in the Bowmasters. I'm going to use it next turn to kill the Goblin Rabblemaster. We draw Echo. We're pretty far away from building up Bowmasters into Echo of Eons. I'd have to draw like a Dark Ritual and another blue mana. Another Goblin Rabblemaster. Sheesh. Okay, we're running out of time already. We'll flash in Orcish Bowmasters. We'll deal 1 to the Goblin Rabblemaster that's attacking. We'll go to blocks and kill that Goblin Rabblemaster. We'll take 3. Draw a Swamp. We have to pass. We're running out of life very quickly here. And now they're attacking again. We don't have a draw that keeps us a... This is 10. So we go to 3. I'm just going to take it. Fable of the Mirrorbreaker, sure. Surge Node is not good enough. Okay, so Leyline of the Void, very, very, very good against this build of the deck. So this is the Echo version of Black Saga Storm. You did get to see Lavaspur boots shine a little bit in this league, but mostly towards the end. It is a really good Urza Saga target, but we just faced a lot of combo in this league, unfortunately, and we didn't really get to see the maximum potential of this card. In general, I think this deck, it's not perfect. The fact that your Beseech the Mirrors can really only get Gaia's Will feels really lackluster to me. And maybe I'm misboarding. That could be part of it. I am not the expert at this deck, but it feels really one-dimensional. And unfortunately, as someone who plays the Epic Storm, I like lots of options, and this deck just doesn't have those. So I might be unreasonably biased. That's all I've got for today. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a terrific day. Keep storming. Hey, Bryant Cook. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. There's no better way to support our channel. If you're interested in elevating your combo game, visit theepicstorm.com/tutoring for details about our coaching sessions. Don't worry, there's more great combo content coming right up.